that what it is, an energy cabin?
An energy cabin? Sure, that's a great name. That's a great name.
I like that, energy cabin. Gina, forever you'll be known for naming the energy cabin.
This is, what's your
No,
big
here's
tank?
this is your solar thermal, super insulated water tank.
Yeah.
So you have the, here's your copper pipes that come in from the ground that store all of the, the domestic hot water heated by the coils that, have the glycol solution running through them from the solar thermal panels. And then just behind this, we have a backup water heater that is actually,
Heat exchanger.
this is one of them, yep, actually against this wall right here, you can see the heat exchanger that comes from the pipes from the solar thermal tank. So that's our primary heat exchanger. And then we have this boiler right here behind you that is a backup heat exchanger. So when we don't have enough solar thermal capacity, we can heat it with the propane boiler.
So this is both the solar and the wind energy?
Yeah, they sort
all
together.
brought in there?
Are these the batteries too? I mean,
The
Yeah,
batteries
they're
and the
in there.
inverters all in
So
there.
look
Gosh.
through the grid, you can see in there the batteries.
I thought I was going to see car batteries in here, like a stack of them.
Well, kind of looks like that in there.
Oh, is that what they probably are?
They're
They're
the
actually
deep cell-
aviation batteries.
They're aviation batteries.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to, would it make sense if somebody wanted to do the same thing you've done, but stay on the grid and sell some of this back to the electric company? We hear that is possible. Does it make sense?
Why would you not? I mean, I have neighbors on Esther Island who want to have a 20-year utility deal with the energy cabin, as you called it, Jim.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a bummer that we produce more than we use, potentially, and that's lost. And that's why we have actually an a typical electric water heater, which uses a huge amount of power. So if the batteries are full and the solar's cranking and the wind is cranking, what do you do with the power? And the wind will actually regulate itself and stop generating power, but the photovoltaic will drive an electric water heater, which will heat water and start to share with the solar tank.
You need to get rid of some of that.
You need to get rid of it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
So it's like an energy sink.
It's an energy sink, exactly.
Excess power.
What do they read?
So it's coming in
It's
at
right here.
80, 100, 108.
10 or,
Yeah,
yeah.
call it 110.
Why do you need
And it's
to-
going out at a little over 80.
I think was just shy of 5 kilowatts.
Interesting.
Which is great.
It's doing the exchanging in here.
Exactly.
And that's what you're heating you heat your house with. And you use that for domestic.
Domestic and radiant.
Right.
Yep.
So you to get really good hot water though, how do you beef that up? With propane?
Well, it's 107 degrees at the
Yeah, we
tap.
could actually
that's
read
true.
the
That's
temperature right
fine.
now.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I'll let you
And architecturally, what existed was there were before boxes. There was garage. This was a 3-bedroom sort of bunkhouse. That was the kitchen, and this was a great room. And so we kept, that arrangement, the exact arrangement. Things got maybe 2 feet wider and 4 feet deeper. We only added about 580 square feet to the house, which HTC really appreciated. And we reorganized the rooms. So this bigger room is now the great room, and then every other room is a bedroom. And what the architect loved about it, he said, these were old buildings dragged here over time, nailed together. So there was a barber shop, there was a gas station, and an old garage. And so the roof lines, you've got 2 gables going east-west, you've got a hip going north-south, and you've got another gable going north-south. And this very skilled shingle-style architect, Doug Wright, said to me, no architect would be smart enough to design that, and it was the way the house evolved, and that's the way we wanted to keep it. You can see one here. There are 84 of those piers. They're basically helix moorings. They're drilled down with an excavator 20 feet, and then there are steel I-beams. And then the whole house the old house was brought over, and then we renovated on these I-beams.
Here we are.
All right.
Did we do something that we shouldn't have?
I don't say it's a no shoes.
They're Japanese.
No shoes. Oh, the guys are towing right off of here.
Oh, yeah.
So as Alan mentioned, we worked with an interior designer named Linda Woodrum, who does a lot of green interior design and tries to incorporate organic materials, reclaimed furniture to you know, basically make this an eco-friendly interior as well as an exterior. The ceiling wood's a lot is reclaimed. We have forest certified mahogany wood floors. So there's a lot of thought into the materials, but you know, from the furnishing standpoint and the building to make this a green home.
All the fabrics too on the furniture?
Yeah, they're either organic themselves or they were purchased from companies who have a, you know, fair trade or policy where, for instance, every 100 yards of fabric that they sell, they plant a tree. So, you know, there was each vendor that we purchased from in some way or another represents a green vendor.
All the paints are low VOC or no VOC paints. All the wood is FSC certified. So this is FSC certified mahogany from a sustainable forest.
So that's what the floor is, mahogany?
Yep.
The mantle, the driftwood mantle was taken from the beach out front. You know, you have a, the upper piece was from an old store on Main Street, you said, Alan?
Threshold.
Threshold, right?
Main Street shop.
Yeah.
He would wander down and get the little stones, and
That's
it's meant to
great.
look dry stacked, but it is mortared. In Maine.
So do you actually eat on the table, or do you play, what do you do more? Play
Yes.
ping pong or?
You have a great dinner party, and then you clear it and you pull the chairs away and you
That's
play,
fantastic.
you play ping pong.
Absolutely.
It's a regulation ping pong table, and
It's perfect.
what
What a great idea.
I grew up in a neighborhood where someone had a small table, and we would put the net out, and that was my childhood memory of all the summer kids, you know, a dozen of us playing together. And I mentioned that to the architect, and I said it'd be great to do, but it's too big. And he said, too big for what? What do you mean too big? It's big, but we'll make it work. And so if I'm here with a couple people, we'll eat on the corner of the table, and if you want to have 10, it's the perfect table. And then everyone loves to play ping pong. We're facing south, and look how warm it gets.
It's really
You know,
warm in
it's-
here.
And this was a kind of a cool idea of, we wanted this to be open. We spent a lot of time designing this room. And, you know, this was the cool idea. That you can open the windows and just drop that down.
Fabulous.
So you have this sort of up, down idea, which you would have in an old Eelskin Inn, sort of has a similar feel.
For the old, this is
Shingles.
from, yeah, right, I was looking for the word, shingles from the previous cottage that existed here, and the shutters that were on the same house that closed this off to make it a fun little kids area. The adults are in the great room.